Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Leo, and this will be for the time frame of August 14th through to the end of September 2020. Sorry for delays on the readings. Life gets busy. I try to do these best I can. This is actually more of an evening read, so if I slur my words or anything comes through a little nonsensical, please bear with me. So I'll just quickly give you a rundown of how I've laid out the cards for those that are new to my channel. Everything that is central to the reading here, and I know some of the cards are out of view, but I will pull them forward so that you know what you're looking at. Basically, everything that's Rider-Waite deck will be pertaining to career, finance, money, that kind of thing. Everything that's related to general energies surrounding the month of August 14th, or the time frame August 14th through to the end of September 2020, will be on the periphery. So again, there's a lot of cards that are out of sight. I do pull multiples, or sometimes they fall out as multiples, and I do pull clarifiers just because I am trying to get a little more perspective on what it is that I'm looking at. So just because, in short, if you were looking at let's say a card of 10 or 9 of cups, which you do have as well, and you have the 10 of cups as well in this reading. But basically, if you're looking at this card, or actually maybe this is even a better one, 9 of Pentacles can indicate that there's a lot of money coming through, or that the person can be independent. But again, this could also just be somebody who's on their own. So that's why I pull the clarifiers. This one, in fact, is a clarifier for the World card, but I'll get to that as we go through. So as I say, that's why I pull more of the clarifiers, because on their own, the card in itself can indicate that there's money or some kind of independence that's coming through with that. But again, when it's clarified with another card, it can change the meaning. So that's why I also tend to pull more cards than many other readers. But I also just find it more interesting too. I love the art as well as the varied meanings and the different perspectives that come through with many of the decks. So again, if you're stopping by new to the channel, central area is the Rider-Waite deck. Everything on the periphery is general energies for the month of August 14th through to the end of September 2020. And again, thank you very much for your support to all those that are returning to my channel. I know these are longer reads for you, and it's a bit of a time allotment and commitment that is required. So I tend to do dishes and listen to these, some of the other tarot readers as well, and to other YouTube videos, that kind of thing, that are of interest to me. So I do feel that it is, I mean, there's always a way around some of the longer involved YouTube channels. So as I say, whatever works for you. Anyway, take what you can from it. I'll try to give you a quick little synopsis, having not gone through all of the cards. Again, it's just a little bit of a synopsis as to what some of the surface cards were that were coming through. I do feel this is more of a predominant career read that's coming through for your Leo. There is some cards that came through in terms of romance, or new romance, or some sort, or even just an existing romance that is becoming deepened. I don't do a lot of the relationship reads, certainly not in detail. I will touch on something if it comes through, but I won't go into a lot of unearthing or fleshing out of the situation, mainly because this is predominantly career and finance, and again, certainly relationships, partnerships, friendships, all of those things tend to overlap into our career and work life. So I will carry out some of the influences around that. Okay, so again, just as a general synopsis, I felt that there was a lot of energy that's coming through from the reading. I feel that first off, I feel that you went through some kind of situation that maybe required either there was maybe a loss of job or something along that line, and you're having to come through with some kind of a decision that has to be made between the period of August 14th through to the end of September. I do feel that either you closed off your connection to spirit, or you felt that you couldn't relate to spirit, or something. There was some kind of blockage that was blocking spirit or divine or ancestral guidance from coming through. But I do feel throughout this period, there's a window that is strongly, strongly, strongly coming through with angelic, or again, as I say, spiritual intervention that's somehow really helping to guide you through this period. There's definitely some kind of, I feel like I'm speaking to maybe a couple of different groups of Leo here. Again, everybody is at different age groups and certainly different motivation, ambition, and different time frames. So things may overlap into, into the preceding months as well. But for the most part, what I'm feeling is that the majority of you are dealing with career issues that there may have even been some kind of deception around career, but I definitely feel there was some kind of financial restraint anyway over this last period, which may have been again from earlier months that have dragged through into the August-September timeframe, but definitely very positive motivations coming out of that period. There is sort of an end of a cycle here that's going through, and again, there's different cards that relate to sort of different stages or different phases. Like the 3s, 6s, and the 9s are often moving through phases and completion. And so sort of the 10s, you're already moving into the next stages here. And again, we've got the World card, we've got the 10 of Cups card, we've got a lot of cards that indicate that you're walking away from difficulty. Again, you've got the 8 of Pentacles here, or sorry, the 8 of Cups. So you're walking away from some difficulties. There was definitely some devil energy, something that was coming through in the finance read, but you are getting some assistance, or whether it's guidance, whether it's divine guidance, but you're getting some kind of assistance or something that's coming through from other people here to guide you along the way. There may have been some kind of a rift as well, a breaking down of a relationship of some sort. Don't know if it was a romantic relationship, friendship, or partnership, work friendship, or something along that line. Because we have some other cards that come through as far as mending bridges. But again, lots of career-oriented messages in this reading. So I feel the focus is definitely on you moving ahead in terms of your career, but as well with a lot of psychic guidance. And again, you definitely have a lot of promise. Because not only do you have good luck coming through with the reading, but you also have that this is a wish fulfillment. This is a dreams. This is a dream. This is a reading that is related to you trying to choose between some kind of option. You've got a few options here, but I feel that you're trying to choose between some kind of goal or dream or something that you've always wanted to do, which is going to bring you freedom. But there's all kinds of cards throughout here that speak to music. So some of you, I believe, as I say, feel like I'm speaking to a couple of different groups here, but I feel strongly somebody resonates, a certain group of Leos really strongly resonate with music, because music came through on a couple of different fronts here. But again, lots of energy, and I feel like you're taking a leap of faith. So I feel this is the month that you're finally coming through. You're making some kind of a decision in terms of, because you've got the Judgment card as well, you're making some kind of a decision to move ahead in a career path that I feel has been a long time dream, something that you've really wanted to commit to, but weren't sure if you could take that leap of faith. So again, there was some energies that were drawn toward you being more practical, not being, and lots of balance is required here. So I feel like you were strongly out of balance on, it could be, again, the financial front, maybe even with your mental state. But definitely there was a lot of imbalances that were coming through, because there's loads of cards that are indicating that you need to regain balance through, whether that's through nature or meditation or music or writing or being creative, or, just trying to redirect some of your anxious energy toward something that's more practical, even getting down to just doing dishes or doing something that's really practical to get your head off of the things that aren't serving you well. So again, there was definitely some cards coming through here as far as financial discipline, more than one in fact. So I feel that you need to still keep your finances a little bit tight for the month of August through to the end of September, but you're definitely starting off. I think you've really made a decision here to start out on this passion project. I feel it's your true calling. I feel that this is this is not just something that that you're doing. I feel this is something that you have planned to do in your head, and now you're starting to execute on that. So again, practicality was important. Definitely feel like you went through a period of financial restriction, and again, it's still kind of trickling through for the period of August 14th through to the end of September 2020, but I definitely feel you're coming out of it. But again, there's some action, really a strong need for you to find balance. I feel that there was probably a lot of negative self-doubt, those kinds of things that was also coming through. But overall, I feel like you've made a decision here. I feel like you, even though you felt some kind of disconnection to your spirit guides, and in particular, I feel you're actually being led by someone that may have even crossed over. Because not only am I just getting from the cards that there is, some need to surrender to spirit, but I mean, it's carried on, divine wisdom, sort of healing your inner child, being compassionate with yourself. There's a lot of cards here that really speak to you having to stand in your power and be strong. So again, just that was a synopsis of, roughly what you're looking at for the period of August 14th, again, to the end of September 2020. But in terms of money, I would say that the overall message is that there might be something trickling through in terms of help or sharing of resources, that kind of thing. But overall, I don't feel like there's some big lucrative win that's coming through here, but you've definitely made some kind of a choice. I don't know that I see you, in dire straits, anything like that. I just feel like you're juggling a few things here and that you're trying to still meet bills, just trying to still meet, payments on things. But overall, I feel the energies are really positive, and whatever the outcome is of this passion project, this long-term goal that you've set, you are taking action on it now, and I feel that you've decided that this is what you want to do. But I do feel that it might be a longer journey out with this one, just because I don't see a load of pentacles in here that indicate, and there's not strong growth. Most of the energies that are coming through are related to air. So they're, the swords and the wands. There's energy, there's creativity, there's still movement, but again, it's still more so in cups and idea formation. So I feel there was also some kind of a situation. Again, this could be for another set of Leos, or that, that we're dealing with this, but I feel there was some kind of a, maybe even in a work situation where there was some kind of maybe a legal issue of some sort. But I feel that there is a justice that's coming through, because there was some cards toward that at the end here, where justice has come through. You've manifested that, and certainly there is some introspection and some wisdom that went along with bringing about that end. So could be, again, with some of the air signs coming through here, could be a Libra energy, Virgo, Cancer, but just rough, again, synopsis. So again, really positive outcome, because I did feel that there was a few cards, quite a few cards actually, that indicate that there, over the long term, there is going to be something that is bringing you extreme happiness from this this project. And on top of that, toward the end of September, I feel that not only just the end of September, in the end of September, there's some kind of a justice or some kind of formal issue or something that was really concerning you that's coming to a resolve. But toward the middle of September, there's something that's bringing you much happiness as well, a great amount of emotional happiness. And toward the beginning here with August, I feel most of the cards are really just in you feeling a sense of loss and having to make some kind of decisions to get past whatever the angst is that you feel about moving ahead with this project. So I'll flesh out some of the details of the reading here. I'll just get right into it. And but again, that was just a brief synopsis. And we'll start with, I'll go through each of the card decks as well, just so you know which ones I'm relating to. So the cards at the back here, this is actually the Fool, and I'll see if I can bring that one forward. So this is actually the fortune reading cards by Sharina Starr, and the illustrations are by Richard Crooks. So this card, I mean, and again, each of the decks have varied meanings. They're not all the same. Some of them have a more specific or broader meaning, just depending. But this particular card is, Fool is generally just about taking a leap of faith. So this is just, it could be in terms of a career or a love situation. But for you, again, I feel this is a little more on the career front. So a lot more on the career front. So have the courage to embrace change, take risks, and be adventurous. So this is a card of unlimited potential. So it may not be where you have all the answers, where you have all the tools and the resources yet, but you definitely are ready to focus on what it is you need to do to get this adventure in motion. You do need to, it's requiring you to take some strength. Again, we've got the strength of the Lion coming through. There was also the strength in the Warrior card coming through with another deck. So I do feel this is going to require you to be a little bold and daring. I do feel that it's going to take a certain amount of ambition and energy to make this happen and pull you out of a bit of a rut, because I think that you had a lot of worries and things that created an extreme amount of fear that hasn't allowed you to feel free enough to move forward. And sometimes in not being able to move forward, we freeze because we don't know which direction to go. And there are some spiritual teachers that feel that sometimes the best way to get up and go again is to start again, and keep restarting. There is Mel Robbins, which is another. She's a lawyer that also became a coaching. A coach of some sort here. I know she's got her own program and so on, but she also has a technique about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just to get up, just do it. And I really like that idea, because I think for a lot of people, the reason why I bring that up is because there was also a message of procrastination going on here. And I guess, again, because there's so many cards that relate to wands and air and cups and things still in the idea formation, I didn't feel that you were embarking on strong action just yet. I think there's a lot of energy toward things still being in the mind with the swords and the cups. But again, there's a couple of cards that come through with wands, but again, they were the Page of Wands as well as the Ten of Wands. So they're beginning and ends of cycles. And same thing too with the Fool card, all falls within that same context. But this is a card, again, where it's a new experience. You want to get out of your comfort zone. It's ready. It's time for you to take that risk. It's time for you to find the ability, the strength, and the courage to get up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and get moving on whatever it is that you've decided is the right direction for you to go. So whether that comes in the way of a new job or opportunity or a passion project, which I feel this is for some group of Leos, this is more of because the Judgment card, and again, these are general readings. So, I mean, if it speaks to you, that's wonderful. Certainly take what resonates. But for, as I say, for others, I mean, there may only be elements that that may resonate. So again, don't try to force the fit. Just take the elements that bear some meaning for you. Okay, so again, with the judgment cards that were coming through on more than one, in fact, of the varied decks, they did indicate judgment, is generally oftentimes a card of letting you know you're on the right track. It's a card of letting you know this is your true path, this is your true calling. When you actually stop and think about the reason, and there's also other cards that spoke to this as well, that you needed to ask yourself why. What are your motives? I think a lot of the procrastination that you're feeling is because, number one, you're not completing projects. So you're getting halfway through your stop start. So when you're constantly stopping and starting, there's a lot of anxiety that builds from lack of completion. So I feel that if you were to move forward, you would actually find that you've got a lot more momentum when you actually complete each project or each small task that gives you the momentum to move forward. So again, with the Fool card, I did feel that you're ready to take that leap of faith, be bold and brave, and certainly the Lion also speaks to that as well. And also, just as in addition to the Fool card message, I mean, it is a card that's also talking about learning new skills, reinventing yourself, improving yourself, and you're starting to attract new opportunities with this particular deck. So it's again, you sort of breaking free, freshening up, and trying to, reinvent yourself with a new look or a new mantra, like a new idea in your head about how you want to attract others, and attract those opportunities. You're basically improving yourself. So maybe you're doing more reading, doing more on improving your motivation, whatever it is, but there's something about you reinventing yourself and moving forward. The Lion card says, harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. So again, this is a card speaking to you just taking control of your life again. So this is about a symbol of, fighting for justice, and it's definitely a protection card, and it's all about you standing up for yourself or others, whatever the situation is that seems to be prevailing toward the end of September. But again, that card indicates that you're ready to face challenges head on with this. So you're ready to go. You're ready to just take something in leaps and bounds, professionally, personally, whatever it is. And there is a victory that comes through for this. So I feel that you're going to see little victories throughout over the next 6 months in particular, that will, help you to gain some respect, and others will help to fuel, more motivation. And it does even speak to, it's a fast-paced energy with this card here. So again, just to be mindful that there's also something that's coming through with travel. And I say that because you also have the World card here, but although the World card could also speak to a beginning and end of a situation here, but with the Lion card, there's definitely, emotions, strong emotions, about being fearless. And maybe there's a little bit of anger or something behind that, but, it's also about a new passion, something that's being brought to a new height, to the forefront. And don't let anybody get in your way here with this mission. You have a dream of some sort that needs to come out, that needs to be expressed in some way. So again, I feel you're reinventing yourself, you're changing the way you look or the way that you express yourself. Your timing is going to be crucial here because this card is also an indication of that. But I want you to also be mindful, because there were other cards that spoke to you being overly concerned with the time frame, that maybe things were too late, maybe you lost your window. I feel something along that line was coming through, and I don't feel that is accurate. I feel that we get windows or doorways of energy that open up to us at certain times, and those are the most fortuitous times that we are to act on whatever those energies are for that month. I feel for you, most of the energies for this period are in the mind and about finding ways to deal with the practical, finding ways to deal with freeing up your mind so that you can get out of your head, and certainly starting putting pen to paper and detailing some of the things that need to happen to bring about this true calling, this North Star, this, this passion project. So you've got, as I said, the Judgment card has come through on many fronts here. So, I mean, I feel that you're definitely about to change something in your life, and it's headed with purpose. With the Judgment card, I mean, this is about you taking a long, hard look at your life. I feel that this is, during this time of COVID and all of that, I think a lot of people were really forced to slow down and analyze where they were and how they were going to, continue to make money, because I think that's having to be reinvented for a lot of us. But as far as I feel this has more to do with your mental state. Right now, you're asking questions of yourself, like, did you make the right choices? Are you on the right path? Will this be the right path? You've got a lot of self-doubt around things that you aren't sure are the right decisions. And certainly, sometimes it helps just to draw it out on a piece of paper, like pros, cons, and, weigh out how you can maintain some balance and still forge ahead on this journey. Don't worry about the time frame that it's going to take. Just make small steps each day toward that passion project, because you'll feel that you're moving slow, and then all of a sudden it'll just take off. Things have a way of moving when you actually have a strong enough foundation. So when you're building the foundation, you don't want to rush through that process. This is something that you need to really commit to. The other thing is, too, I find that money needs a direction. So, in terms of money, it's just spending money is not, it's a direction, but it's not really a direction that allows for more of it. So you want to find a way to make every dollar count, because you are having to be really mindful about disciplining yourself over this period. So make sure that you're aware of when you put money out, is there a way for you to get something back out of it other than just something that you can consume? So again, just making sure that money has a direction, but it needs to be a direction that will allow for more of it and momentum. There was actually, I'm just going to throw this out here before I go into this card, but there was also something that I remember watching on, and I won't have all the details for you, but you can always look it up. It was on TED Talks and about happiness, and I think it was Gilbert, something Gilbert, that was the author of the book on happiness. And what he did was they did a study to determine whether money was something that brought about happiness. And to a degree, yes, it did actually. And I mean, yes, there is happiness to be found in, for sure, life is about our connections. Life is about our, finding love and purpose in life. But they also found that having more resources available to you, not having to worry about some of the basic necessities, allows you to feel more engaged in your world, because you're freed up. You don't have to worry about whether or not you've got milk in the fridge. And I think for a lot of people, and again, this is a spectrum, I'm just going on the real base rudimentary ideas because that just speaks to more impact, but I mean, we're very we need to be very grateful for sure. We're not in some of the less fortunate parts of the world where water and resources are more of a struggle. But the important thing to remember is meet your base needs and then try to level up. But again, even if things are still a struggle, you can still level up so long as you don't mire yourself, weight yourself down with a lot of anxiety and difficulty, because those difficulties will bring about closed off resources. You don't have the accessibility to options or creative solutions when your mind is overwhelmed with worry. So again, make sure your base needs are met. Try to make sure that you look for ways to connect with people that bring you inspiration and momentum, so that every day that you're out there in work or in your day-to-day minutia, that it's not a heavy drain on you, so that you have the energy to accomplish goals. Okay, so anyway, with the Judgment card, and again, it's different meanings with different decks. This one actually talks about you taking a long look at your life, and again, it's just about you taking stock, asking yourself all the questions about, whether or not you're making the right choices, doing some soul searching. You might even be reflecting on the past here. You know the right path, and you do have the wisdom that's coming through here with the Hermit toward the end, and I'll pull that card forward later. But again, it's the wisdom is there. You're getting guidance from divine, and again, I feel more specifically from somebody who's passed. But this is all about you not letting others get a step in the way of this new direction here, because there's something in it that you need to, that will level you up, that's going to help you to gain. So again, personal relationships, business relationships, friendships, all of that applies to that life review and the things that you're becoming aware of here. But you've come to a lot of life lessons here with this card. You've already learned quite a bit. You now have wisdom. So unfortunately, spiritual wisdom often comes from a price. So again, sorry, might have a little issue with my computer here. But again, there is some kind of a price that is, there's some kind of a price that comes through with, sorry, having a little computer issue I'm just trying to resolve. Should be just a second. Okay, anyway, I can't fix it. So again, what I'm going to say, just again with the Judgment card, is that you're on this new path. You're taking that leap of faith. You're ready to go forward, and definitely there's no more stagnancy. You've already made a decision here, and I feel that decision will come probably toward the first, the week of August 14th throughout. But again, you definitely have some promise here with this project. You just need to have the courage to follow your own destiny here, because you will have a fulfilling path ahead of you. You have just too many cups, and the wish fulfillment card and all of that coming through. So for sure, you have a lot of purpose with this dream, with this passion project, because it's inspiring you to make money-making ideas. And again, it's opening you up to new possibilities with the Judgment card. So I'll leave that one alone here and go on to the next deck. Some of these are newer decks for me too. So this is actually a new deck for me, and I'm going to start doing some of the unboxing for some of these decks. But for now, I'll just start using the cards here just to give you some idea. You get to see a few cards in the reading. So this is actually the Mystical Healing Reading cards. It's a really nice one. It's short, and the book is simple meanings, but really like that they have a little bit more depth than a lot of oracle cards and so on that I've read. This one is actually about recognizing divine timing. This is actually, also by Ina Segal. So you've got recognize divine timing. You also have that you have support, and you also have take positive action. So, I mean, in short, that's probably fairly self-explanatory, but, again, with recognizing divine timing, you definitely have spirit with you. You definitely, again, feel this is more ancestry, an ancestral connection, somebody that may have passed that's coming through for you. but what you really want, what you truly desire is coming. It's on its way. You just need to put the action behind this spiritual doorway that's opening this energy for you, because spirit is energy. And so when that energy doorway opens up for you, it's letting you know that they're going to synchronize things. They're going to start lining things up. You're going to start having the ideas, things come through to you so that you can move ahead. And as far as the actual material world that we live in, you still have a part in co-creating. You still have to put the work in. So you have to use that spiritual insight, and put it into action, because action is, we live in the material world. We live in the physical world. So nothing comes through with just intention. You have to have intention and then follow it up by action. Otherwise, it's just energy that's wasted. It'd be like jogging on the spot, going nowhere. So recognizing divine timing, again, you have to be open to receive things. You have to start working on the qualities that you need to have to be able to present to the world with whatever this passion project is that you need to get started. You need to start doing, deepening your efforts on that inner preparation, so that you've got the right momentum, the right frame of mind, and that you can develop stronger friendships or resources and loving relationships and connections to help you along that path. So again, you have to do the work on an inner level to be able to make sure that things manifest in a way that is appropriate to your to how you want to be perceived in this new environment. So again, if you want to start working on family or work or greater intimacy, love, communication, healthier and inner environment, all of that, this is a card that speaks to you working on business or potentially financially rewarding opportunities, which came through in the reading several times. This is to let you know that it is coming, and you just need to take strong daily action to prepare for that success. So really need to use your intuition for in this month to be able to get the most out of it, so that you can move on it. So again, you do have support, as I mentioned. You've got divine support. So again, with this card, you're receiving more help. And that is coming through from, as I say, I feel it's an ancestor that's passed for you, or a friend, or somebody that was pretty close to you. But either way, this is somebody that's participating in opening you up on your inner development, because you need to be strong there. You need to have a strong foundation before going forward. If you're racked with anxiety, you're not going to be able to level up, because every problem that you'll be faced with, any hardship, you'll see as a hardship and revert right back to wherever the comfort zone was. So you need to be strong internally before you're able to move ahead. So you don't want to be weakened by your own, because it lowers your vibration as well. But you don't want to be weakened by your own negative mire, or the things that you consume yourself with on a daily basis. So again, for every negative thought, you need 42 positive thoughts just to be able to pull yourself out. So rather than hinder yourself with the heaviness of too much negative thinking, it would be more practical and efficient for you to say, okay, this has happened. What can I do about it? Is there a way for me to move ahead? Do I have any solutions? Think of yourself as an astronaut, and you're trying to figure out a way out of a problem. You want to start looking at all the technology around you. You want to start looking at all the resources, the things that you have access to. You want to start looking at it from a more objective point of view to be able to resolve the issue, I guess is what I'm really saying here. So again, this is a card of you strengthening your abilities so that you can receive regeneration and assistance from the divine, or again, from, I feel more specific, from someone that's passed on here for you, that you were close to. But you're getting that support to help you to tap in, and really make some changes in your focus, as well as helping you to make decisions and again, that card also requires you to just spend a little bit of time, supporting yourself by going out into nature or listening to music, because again, that was a really strong element that came through in this reading. But it's definitely listening to, and actually this one also speaks to that as well. So this is about 3 cards, I think, 3 or 4 cards that came through that spoke to you listening to music that heals and calms your soul. So definitely, Leo, I feel that you really have a strong connection to music here. You find that it's healing you on some level. Maybe it helps you to be artistic and creative, but either way, it's supporting you this card supports you in every area of your life so that you can have some harmony and balance. And again, that's what the majority of the cards indicated, that you needed to find balance for this period, August to September. And again, you've got taking positive action. So with this card, it's just that, stop procrastinating, get done what needs to be done. There was also other cards that also supported this same idea, that you were procrastinating and that you needed to stay in the practical, take those steps forward. You've got a lot of new possibilities that you haven't even considered that are going to show up in your head, and you just need to choose one. If you hold back, you'll open the doors to all your old fears and your habits and all the old patterns of things that were holding you back. So if you hold yourself back, you're going to remain stuck. So you need to look at some of the most underdeveloped aspects of yourself and try to find a way to move ahead by maybe studying something new, taking a course, reading a book, listening to motivational videos on YouTube, or trying to find something that helps you to avoid putting tasks off and not completing things, because I feel like it's creating a lot of anxiety for you, or a lot of, you're beating yourself up. You're not completing paperwork. You need to detox from all of this. You need to be able to complete things to be able to move and be more responsible for yourself. And in being more responsible, when you take, each small challenge that you take a responsibility for begins to level you up. And this, again, is, making important changes, for yourself makes decision making easier, faster and faster and faster every time you do it. So again, this could also be a card, but it definitely strongly tells me that you're putting things off and that you need to, get your willpower behind this and pay attention to some of the things that you're not doing right now. But again, this card could also speak to someone who is lonely or needs company. So whether this is you or somebody else, you might just want to take a look around you in your personal sphere there and see whether or not there is somebody who's being neglected because of maybe your, overindulgent thought patterns and whatever it was that was causing you some anxiety. So, or indecision and again, procrastination. So this is actually a really new deck for me too, and I really like this one. This was actually given to me by a very close friend of mine. So this one is actually the magical spell cards, and I love the card stock. I love that it's an oracle deck. It does speak of working like spell work, and certainly when you read the short phrases, they help you to focus like a mantra and meditate on changing your intention, drawing things to you that you feel have more relevance, that you need intentions, helping you to focus your intention on what it is that you need to change in your life. But in this card, again, we've got 3 cards. We've got romance coming through, we've got knowledge coming through, and we also have divine guidance, which is all over this reading. So again, start writing down your ideas throughout the month of August to September, because you're definitely going to be just inundated with ideas and healing, mostly I think ideas and things that relate to your passion project. But there is some kind of either a deepening of a romantic situation or where you can derive strength from, somebody that you can lean on with this card here. But I do feel that romance plays it's of some significance, even though this reading, as I say, projects career all over the place. I do feel that there is a it's not that there's a lot of cards, and this card actually may even speak to, you feeling very passionate about this project, because there's not a lot of cards that come through with relating to love specifically, but again, if it does relate to you in terms of a relationship, it is still a necessary part of, of our human connections. So it can be about a reconnection here. It can be about a deepening of a relationship here. But you're inviting romance back into your life. So maybe you closed it off for a period of time because you were too focused on other things. But this is a card of using this as romance as a sacred power. So just letting it come in is basically, as the card says, let it come to me this hour. Romance, it is a sacred power. Let it come to me this hour. So you can use that as a spell mantra, to bring it to you, so that you do have some anchor in the water, and you have somebody there that, maybe has a better understanding of you than you do yourself, because sometimes we're not objective enough to see, where we're headed with things, and somebody else's ear or eyes can help us to see clearer. With knowledge, and again, I feel the divine is bringing you some of this information. Let me connect above and below. Let the knowledge of ancestors flow. So again, I did strongly feel there were so many cards that spoke to you being connected to an ancestor of some sort that's passed. This is a card about receiving and understanding information, making wise choices. You're now you're moving into a place of empowerment. So your mind is opening up. You're actually starting to make beneficial decisions that empower you in terms of your career, your relationships, your health, your finances, whatever it is for you. But it's also helping you to trust in the universe again, to trust, because I feel like you lost some kind of important connection there. But the universe here is tapping on your shoulder. It's letting you know you've got some important information that's coming through, and to get your attention focused on what's going to come through, because it is going to be something that helps to move you ahead. So you have to trust it, or if you don't, you can make it a lot harder on yourself. But if you do trust it, the way is a lot easier. So divine guidance, whispers from the beings who shine, let their message be clear and kind. So again, this is about a fix of some kind. So it's letting you know that whatever dark situation you had encountered in the previous months, you are now you've either turned to counseling, or you've turned to somebody who is a counselor to you, or somebody who is a close friend that was helpful to you. But there's discussions here. There's some kind of, I feel that you might have been doing something that may have not been healthy for you during these troubled, difficult times, because there is that devil energy. And of course, that devil energy can represent a lot of different things. It can represent, addictions. It can be, and whether, excessive drinking, codependent relationships. It has all kinds of connotations to anything that's in excess. But definitely negative thinking, overthinking, all of those things all fall within that same context. So I didn't clarify that card, but I think generally enough it's pretty clear that it's not something that is a healthy path. So this is letting you know, divine guidance is helping you to pull out of that. You're helping to clear yourself, detox yourself. You don't need to numb yourself anymore. This is you moving into an alternative path that helps you to feel revitalized again. You're able to see your way through this trouble or the difficulty that you were facing. So you now actually have guidance, not only just from outside help, in the material world. I feel that there is someone that you are leaning on as well, because again, you had the Six of Pentacles coming through with that reciprocity or shared finances. But for sure, you also have strong divine guidance coming through. Okay, so I'll get right to I think I'll go to the Voyager Tarot. This is actually by James Wanless, and you've got two cards here that I pulled. So we've got the Six of Crystals, and we also have the Priestess. Priestess in other decks, High Priestess can indicate abundance and, things that's the Empress, the Priestess, hidden knowledge and those kinds of things, but information that's coming through. But with this particular deck, the Empress really is, let me pull it through here again. The Empress is actually, or sorry, the Priestess, I don't know why I keep saying Empress, but the Priestess is somebody who is symbolizing the law of knowledge, somebody who knows the truth. So it's about finding that balance, that equilibrium with this card. And it's about knowing yourself. It's about seeing yourself objectively. It's about, you being receptive. And again, either you're the counselor or somebody is coming through as a counselor, somebody who's wise, but somebody who's able to help you to foresee things, somebody who represents a cool, calm, collected person. They may even be a little bit withdrawn. Again, this could be yourself as well, but it is somebody who's a little more on the detached side here and emotionally self-sufficient. But again, it's getting clear of emotional and worldly entanglements. So things that you need to be able to clear so that you can actually escape. So you're not feeling like you need to fall into escapism or fall into illusions or fall into, so whatever it was, as I say, with the Devil card that was holding you back. And I feel, again, I might be speaking to a couple of different Leos here, but maybe some kind of addiction issue or something that was an overindulgence. But I feel that is starting to pass. You're coming out of it here. With the Six of Crystals, of course, this is, again, that same idea, with the illusions. It's somebody who has those ideas in the mind, but there's a lot of confusion around those ideas. So this is somebody who may have, overstimulated mind, but also because there's so much going on in there, it's difficult to move ahead. You don't feel organized. You feel like there's an inability to make sense of some of that chaos and that confusion. So even though there's creative insights that are coming through for this reading, again, I feel you need to really put pen to paper, put things out, do one meaningful thing per day, or don't work on 12 things at once. You want to just be practical and just try to you're trying to clarify the details step to step. So the only way to be able to do that really is to fine-tune things and create a strong foundation. So once you have a strong foundation, the rest of the way will become clear. So in other words, get out of your mind. Get out of your mind. Do the practical things that need to get done. You've got so many ideas. Just write all the ideas down on the paper. Pick one that you feel is the entry level into, your goal, and start researching it. Because you do have a lot of potential here with whatever this passion project is. This is something I think you've considered for some time. So the next cards are the Energy Oracle cards, and that's by Sandra Ann Taylor. So we've got financial constraints. And again, this came through on multiple fronts here, so definitely something to heed, again, for the month of August to September. But again, you have something that's growing here, something that's going to bring you a lot of happiness. There's not much in terms of how much money that's going to come through with that yet, but I suspect that'll come through, as you move forward and put more practical effort into the goal as to how much will come through. Right now, it's still in the phase of your mind, so it's difficult to get a strong sense of how much will come through with that. But definitely it will be something that brings you a lot of happiness. So again, a lot of these messages were reiterated throughout all of the decks about financial constraints, as well as, taking action and all of that. So starting with the financial constraints card. So again, this is really letting you know that there are some restrictions concerning finance right at this time, just for this period anyway. So things might be a little bit tight, but again, money needs direction. So any money that you are putting out, look for ways to bring a second alternate income in, or whatever money you do put out. See if there's another way that you can make more from that initial investment. So it's not a time of, again, I'm not saying get into stock market, anything like that. I mean, especially when there's so many cards that speak to financial discipline and financial constraints. So definitely not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that look for ways to make some extra money here. So it's, again, not a time of indulgence. You want to be wise about, choosing your expenditures, what you're putting your money out on, being mindful of what you need versus what you want. Take care of your immediate basic needs, and then things will get better. And once they get better, that's when you can start, being a lot less conservative. But for now, you need to be willing to live a little more conservatively, and just know the value of money, and just be okay with what you've got right now, at least for the month of August to September. Again, it might extend a little further out there yet, but for this time frame, I feel like you just need to hold off. So there's also the card of action. And again, this is about an energizing effort. Again, you've got to get practical. You've got to start taking steps. And you've got to have a willingness to work here, is what the action card is. So this is the time for you to be more aggressive in moving toward your passion project, or the thing that is important to you, but it's intentional, concerted action, and it's directed. It does let you know that you're on the right track with your thought patterns right now in regards to this, but you do have to make a determined effort to see things increase. So again, energy from spirit is just energy, and you have to take an energy window that you need to be able to make work for you. So break free is what's saying here. Start to get into a practical mindset. And again, there were so many cards that also speak to that practical mindset, which was, another one of chop wood, which is, relating to all of that as well. So again, really you need to enable for you to start seeing results. You have to actually be willing to work hard and create it. Nothing comes without effort. And even though I believe that the divine actually does come through and rewards us once we do put effort out, or we do, meet a karmic destiny, or we do have some lesson that's been learned, I still feel that at this time for you, this is not what's happening. You're not being rewarded for any of that just yet. You're being told that this is a longer term journey for you, but that you need to find balance first. So somewhere along the line, you have moved off center. And whenever we have tower moments or anything, obstacles or challenges, really what's happening is the universe is trying to synchronize things and push us, nudge us back into the right place, the right areas, so that we stay on track to continue to learn the lessons that we agreed to before coming into this life. So it's not, you still have free will to choose whatever direction you want to learn those lessons. But again, it's still a matter of you being, obstacles and challenges are not a bad thing. They're really just a thing. I'm trying to find the alternate words, but I'm a little too tired to give you all of that. So what I would say is, it's just something that you have to go through to be able to find a way to level up. So if you were off balance, it's because you were missing a resource, you were missing some information. And so a little obstacle was put in your way to teach you, this is where you need to find more information in this area. This is what you need to pay attention to. So again, when you're off balance, we're talking about your solid foundation being off balance, your personal balance, your emotional balance, whatever it is. But something has been out of sync and you need to create a greater equilibrium. But it's coming to life. It's now starting to rebalance in this period. You're getting, off center, or you're losing focus. And I think that's probably more relevant for the majority of Leos, is that you've lost focus here, and that intuition is helping you to move back into the right direction. So just helping to recenter you. Okay, so, and again, that card also spoke to a strong destiny coming through for you. So just be aware of that. You have some real strong purpose that's coming through that needs to be addressed. Whatever this project is, it's something that's quite meaningful, that needs to be. It's your true purpose for being here, so it needs to be expressed. You're not on the wrong track. Okay, so the next cards I will read will be, actually, I think I will read that one. This is the Wisdom of the Oracle, Colette Baron Reed, and that was the Chop Wood card that I mentioned. So again, with that one, I did feel that, you had to get practical. You really have to start to be grounded, and you have to start looking for ways to be humble, do what you need to do to get things done. Don't live in an overinflated idea of the big dream, because right now you're still setting up the foundation. So you need to do those simple chores in life. You need to do the simple steps to research, or the simple steps to drawing out the map on how you're going to get there. And don't worry about it being right or accurate, because you're going to tweak this along the way. You just need to have a basic format of the idea, and then you'll tweak it as you go. Nothing has to be perfect. Most people don't even move on things until because they think that they've got to have all of the resources, all of the elements considered before moving ahead. But you'd be surprised what actually happens is an imperfect project starts to become perfect, not because of your effort from the beginning, but because of your effort that you make along the way. So again, don't be afraid to start out with an inadequate beginning in your mind, because in actual fact, it's going to be tweaked along the way. Other people may even be able to help you to master that. And most times, whenever you're on some kind of a project or a passionate idea, most people do come in to assist, and you meet like-minded people that really make a huge difference in the way the process or the project develops, which may be completely deviating away from what you had in mind. As long as you stay to the core of your purpose, though, that's all that you really need to hold on to. How it actually envelops in the world is not always within your control. So this is about, again, don't take your attention away from your goal. You want to be receptive. You want to stay on task. There's a deeper purpose at hand. And you definitely want to engage every day in a contemplative, intentional, practical way to get things done and bring you closer to what you're seeking here. So it's about you paying attention to those aha moments, those things that make you feel like, oh, I should write that down. That makes sense. That is a great idea. I hadn't thought about that. Like you need to write down those moments, because that will help you to also define your why. And a lot of times we may have known what the why was when we started out, but it may have changed, evolved us, and then we lost track again because it didn't feel comfortable, it didn't feel right. But again, you might have just lost resources, didn't feel safe enough to make that jump because you didn't feel like your foundation was strong enough. So you can't really move ahead until you feel like you've been able to resolve some of those issues. But for you, in this month, August to September, take the time to really think out what your motives are, what's driving your intention. Is it people around you that you want to make sure that they're safe and protected? Are you doing this because you want to contribute to the world on a greater scale? You want to leave a legacy? What are the reasons? What's your why? It's not enough just to say I want money, because if you want money, that doesn't necessarily ring true for a passion project. A passion project brings the money because you just love doing the work, and then you start to see more ideas and more things that go with it, and then it just expands and expands and broadens and broadens. More people get involved, they see your enthusiasm, and it just escalates from there. So again, knowing your why. It's fine to have a set amount in your head about, I want to make $10,000 a month or whatever it is, so that you feel safe and secure each month. But then you also have to do the work to figure out, what elements of this project, will create stability, and what are the elements that are beyond my control that I might need some assistance on. So again, get clear on what it is that brings you your why. Because this is going to bring you your key to fulfillment. Your why is the reason behind everything. And this is the magnet for miracles, as they say. This is the card. This is the invisible life force that brings to life the things that hold growth for you. And that doesn't just go for in terms of finances. This is also about relationships, knowing why we engage in our relationships in the way that we do. You know, feelings aren't always logical, and because they're not always logical, you know, you have to recognize your triggers. Are you responding to something that relates to an issue from the past? You know, you want to ask yourself the questions. Why am I feeling like this? Why did I say that? You know, take a moment to step back and actually contemplate, you know, what it is, instead of just saying, well, I'm reacting because they said this. You know, why is it that you would react to something on that front? Because it actually talks a great deal about you. It tells you about, you know, areas that you feel a little insecure about. Because when you feel secure about something, you won't necessarily, I'm just going to pull something way out of the, this is just as a random example, but you may not feel jealous if you feel that you know your why. Well, I was triggered because I had a previous relationship that did this, and so this is why I'm so much more reactive in this particular situation. So again, that can apply to your finances, personal life, whatever it is, but in the end, ask yourself why you're behaving, why you're motivated, you know, why you feel you need to engage in this project, whatever it is. In terms of prosperity, this is a card that is a creative venture for sure. And it's definitely career motivated. It is definitely letting you know that this is the ticket to great success. Once you know what your why is, then everything else is just impact. It's a prosperity that will have impact, and it'll help to guide your life in a really intentional way. So no motive is good or bad. This is really about you just, you know, figuring out the hidden parts of yourself and identifying more strongly with the things that can help you to step into an extraordinary life versus an ordinary life. You know, you don't want to deny the truths about things that drive you forward, because those are just because they're hidden away from you doesn't mean that you don't have a why. It just means that you need to dig a little deeper. And again, this is the month to do it because you're getting answers. You're getting a lot of divine intervention here. I mean, you could be headed toward a lot of fame here with this. You just don't know, because until you actually know what your why is, you know, you need to go through that deep soul searching to be able to set yourself free and bring you closer to the happiness that you seek. And again, it's not really specific as to how, I know that this is going, whatever this passion project is going to bring you a lot of happiness, but again, it's not really clear as to how much money yet. But I mean, usually on, you know, when it's a project that gives you so much happiness and fulfillment, because it's a wish fulfillment card that came up here, for sure, it sounds like it's going to be quite lucrative, because you have 9 and the 10 of Cups. So I feel that there is definitely, this is definitely something that is overwhelmingly going to surprise you. With the TikTok card, this is a card about timing, of course. And I mean, in human time, we feel that we should do things on time. But in spirit time or in divine time, this is about letting you know all of those things will come in time. When things line up, when you do the work, when you start organizing and preparing, and you actually start to meet your foundational targets, again, co-creating with spirit, then things will fall into place. This is where miracles happen. So, you know, in terms of love and fulfillment and all of that, this is all possible with this card. Everything has appropriate timing. But the thing to remember as well is that I feel you're putting too much pressure on yourself as to when you feel this goal should be completed. And I don't feel you're being told to step away from that mindset, because everything will happen in time as it's intended to happen. It might seem really slow again at the beginning, because this is a stage of foundational planning, and then it's just going to skyrocket from there. So just keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive. Make a commitment. You know, keep a high vibrational, you know, check on your thoughts and your feelings, making sure that you're aligning with your highest good, your highest calling, all of that. And, you know, for sure, this is, again, that you're going to be able to manifest these things, you know, and they are miracles to us, but they're not miracles to the divine. The divine sees that you're on a journey, but again, you have the ability to choose whatever direction you want, which might be a slower journey in the physical world, but the universe is able to synchronize things and speed it up once they see that you're on the right track. Okay, and again, so many cards of you reaching happiness with this project. There is so much joy and contentment coming through, a sense of fulfillment that everything is going well, that once you start on this project, I don't feel that you're going to feel this is work. I think that you're going to feel that you're fulfilled. I think that you're going to be able to live in the present moment. You won't be living so much in the past or living so much in the future, because your desires are effortless now. Everything is happening. You're satisfied with the way things are going. This project is going to bring you level upon level upon level of, fulfillment. And I say that because you've also got the Ten of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups. Again, in the financial part of the reading, you're experiencing some kind of liberation here. So this is a happy moment for you. And definitely it is about you experiencing contentment. So know that whatever this project is, it is a result of you being aligned with your purpose. So in terms of a relationship, it can be that there are moments in a relationship where you just feel amazing, like you've lined up with everything, your heart's wide open, you're open to love, you care for another, somebody's caring for you. It can also be that somebody is helping to, bring you along this journey as well, and it's helping with that joy and contentment, the happiness that's coming through. You're also attracting more happiness, again, with this card. So along this way, it's not something that's future in this respect. I feel that you are getting a lot of happiness that's coming through for the month of probably closer to either the end of August or early September is when you really start to feel this. But again, this is about you starting to take pride in your accomplishments, and you've got some good work, and you're feeling like you're compensated for it, or that there's you feel like you're able to pat yourself on the back. You feel like you're bringing this through. You're able to lighten up now and not be so intense, because I feel that you were being quite intense, and this is really just letting you know that you have the ability to see through things now. And it's just a reminder again, don't take yourself or your life too seriously. Things will be synchronized when you're on your right path, and you are on the right path. Things will fall into place now. So it's okay to be happy and lighthearted, and find a little humor in this period, especially between August and September, but also throughout life. But more specifically, find a reason to celebrate. Celebrate and express yourself, and find some moments to appreciate with others. Okay, so the next cards I'll read this is actually the Enchanted Map Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reid. So this one is following the leader. So again, this is a card about energy, or everything in life is a teaching tool for others. So I feel that you're also being an example of authenticity to those around you. So you're being called to lead others. So for whatever purpose that you're undertaking here, I feel that your bravery, your adventurous, courageous attitude is also showing others that they can battle and win, even with a loss. They can still pick themselves up because of your ability to suffer and turn it into wisdom. You are actually becoming a light for others. You're able to help others to find the character that they need. You actually are accomplished in this way because you were able to take some kind of a loss, withstand it, stay in great character and integrity, and now others are starting to admire you for that because you're able to turn it around. It's become wisdom. You have the ability to be a leader for others because of the wisdom that you've gained from this storm field. And again, that's already passed. I don't feel this is something you're going through, but it was that uncomfortable chaos and conflict. And, it definitely was released because you've already dealt with it. But this is definitely that new growth that you have gone through. Okay, so the next cards I'll read will be Earth Magic. And Earth Magic is these ones here. So this is by Stephen D. Farmer, and this is, you've got the music harmony card, and again, that comes through on many fronts here, that music is a really strong, integral part of you, or that you respond to it. You also have rainbow blessings, and you also have ancestors' generations. So again, definitely feel that you have some energy that's coming through here from somebody from your past that is possibly passed on, or has passed on actually, or friend, or whoever it is. But definitely somebody who's looking out for you, somebody who is trying to speak to you specifically. They know you well enough, and they definitely have a message for you. So again, we'll start with the music card. So music is all about finding balance and harmony, and of course, this is definitely what you needed to explore in that period, August 14th to the end of September, is to find that balance, because a lot of things were off for you, and I feel that maybe you even cut off people, maybe even relationship status, maybe you just weren't giving a lot of time to people. But this is about you starting to find that harmony, you starting to find that balance. Again, you're taking the time to do something for yourself, and again, I feel it's through music, because the card is just too strong throughout the reading here. But again, it causes you to reflect, and in reflecting with certain types of music that may be relevant for a time in our lives that help to empower us. But either way, it's about paying close attention to those environments that have the right vibration for us, the right sounds for us. Whatever, because a lot of times music is mimicked in the natural world as well, with nature, listening to water, so music, whatever music means to you. But again, it's about taking that time to flow and create the balance. So again, you will have some blessings that are coming through for the month of August through to September. So there's definitely some kind of a collaboration that's coming through with this card. So you are getting together with somebody or people. But the rainbow really symbolizes many things. So again, that's a card that's letting you know you've got good luck coming through, which you also have it with other decks. It speaks to good luck. I'll just pull it through with the other one here. But here was another card that you had of good luck as well. So you definitely have some good luck that's coming through. You're going to see some things opening up for you in the month of August to September. Opportunities, advice, something that's going to show you the way and turn things around for you. There's abundance with this card. This is a card letting you know that things are starting to be synchronized, things are coming together. You've got the divine involved here. You're feeling loved and appreciated, whether, it's through friendships or, relationships. But either way, the storm is past, and it's time for you just to enjoy the cycle now of things lining up. It's about you seeing opportunities. It's about you being able to build on your own personal garden, or again, in this case, your dream. But your difficult or painful experiences, you're now letting go as well. So you're healing because you've turned it into wisdom. It was a constructive way of dealing with that, because you now are becoming a leader for others. You're inspiring others. So you have, again, that ancestor card, and that speaks to just that, you being able to be guided. You're intuitively really strongly connected to somebody that is trying to act as a teacher. It could be a parent or a grandparent, but either way, it's some kind of ancestral bloodline, somebody genetically, I feel, that's more specifically attached to you, Leo. But either way, this is letting you know that that thread, that connection, that biological connection is assisting you in some way. So, yeah. Anyway, you have a lot of blessings that are coming through, and likely allowed because of this spirit, because of this person that you are very connected to. Okay, so we'll go into, I think we're on to the other cards here now with, okay, this one is actually, these ones are pretty straightforward. This is the Gateway Oracle cards by Denise Lim. And it's pretty straightforward. Mending bridges. I heal rifts. I am a mender. And you also have soaring into joy. Childlike wonder fills my life. And you also have planting seeds. So seeds of grace are being planted in the fertile soil of my soul. And you also have cherishing yourself. So I accept and love myself. So again, some of the basic meaning really just with mending bridges is just that. You know, maybe you separated yourself from people over this last little while because you were dealing with some issues, but you're mending those bridges, you're healing old wounds. It could even just relate to yourself, you know, reconnecting with yourself as well as people or situations. But this is about you helping others also to mend in their lives. So again, I felt that you were starting to lead people into a place of empowerment. You've got soaring into joy. This is really about celebrating and living your life, you know, and this is, everything's going fine. So for that period, August to September, you're definitely moving in a direction of positivity here, and you're enjoying it with other people. You've already planted the seeds here, so this is where you're starting to get clear in this month. You're starting to get practical, write things down. You know, your timing is vital, and so again, it's important that you pay attention to every step that you're putting out there. Don't be really broad minded in the way that you approach things. Practical small steps is what's called for here, but you need to take action on it. So, you know, you might want to take a look at some of the things that might have been blocking you, and how you can best prepare for your future here. But either way, it's one step in front of the other with planting seeds. So again, once you've started, once you really start to put the pen to paper on those ideas with planting seeds, I feel that your projects, your ideas, your dreams, things are going to start to come to fruition here. And cherishing the self, again, is just that. I feel you're in a place where you are starting to take some time for you. You know, this is really about putting your own needs first. And you might even be buying yourself a special gift. Again, you want to be mindful of your money going out, though, just because you do have some financial restraints being noted here on a couple of fronts in more than one deck. But again, just for the month of August to September until things start to turn around, because much of this energy is still in the mind and ideas. But again, energy windows here to let you know you're getting assistance from others, and it's all going to benefit you. Everything's going to be. Just need to focus on all the remarkable things about you, and take some time to appreciate you. Okay, so moving on to I think we'll read the Sacred Awakening cards. I did pull, some of these actually fell out in groups, that's why there's so many here, but we've got Surrender, you've also got Spirit, and you've also got Divine Wisdom, and you've also got Inner Child. And you lastly have Compassion. So these are the Sacred Awakening cards, and this is by Sarah Esther Felix. So we'll start off with the Surrender card. So surrendering basically is, or actually maybe I should start off with now we'll start off with the Surrender card. Okay, Surrender card, we'll start off with that one. So it's really about you finding that place deep within you, the divine part of you, knowing that something is calling you and that you're listening to it. So you're being more receptive, you're getting rid of those egoic ideas, about what you think you should have and when you should have it, because that just serves to trap you. So this is about, and it also limits your identity. You want to be able to expand And so only when you come into that quietness and that stillness and that pulling away, and you stop struggling and resisting and battling yourself with all those negative thoughts, that you're going to start to see that you're able to expand. And then as you expand, you can be filled with what the divine is trying to bring into you. So you're welcoming back yourself here with that card. We also have the Spirit card. And again, with the Spirit card, this is really along that same line. Even though you're speaking to yourself, with even though you're allowing Spirit to come through here, there's still a sense of your intellect getting in the way. And if you're just a little more compassionate with yourself and less intellectualizing and analyzing and resisting Spirit, then you're going to find that you get your answers a lot faster. You just need to be a little more receptive. So there's obviously some resistance here in letting Spirit come in at some point here, which is probably, like I said, the beginning of August. But either way, this is how Spirit has to get through. You just need to surrender to Spirit. So don't resist. Get your ego out of the way, because you really need this information. And again, this is about divine wisdom. So divine wisdom is, again, simply just that. It's about Spirit coming through, and it may come through in terms of speaking to you through personal self-awareness. It could be through your body. There's different ways that Spirit tries to come through. It could be expanding your awareness through your dreams. Ideas might come to you in, synchronicities, where you see numbers frequently, where you start to see patterns in things, where you start to see something that just stands out, outside of all other things. But either way, some symbols, things that you just need to look for, because that's what that wisdom is that's coming through. It's a pool of wisdom that's trying to come through in layering, so it's not going to come through in any one front. You also have the inner child here that's coming through. And again, it was coupled with compassion. So I really feel that you need to be careful about what you say to yourself. I think that you're oftentimes a little harder on yourself than you should be, or you're saying the wrong things to your inner child. Or when I say inner child, I know it sounds like an odd thing for some people to relate to, but think of yourself as, when you're going through a difficulty, how hard do you need to be on yourself to be able to, or even on a child, before they start to be self-destructive. So again, you want to be mindful of the things that you say to yourself, because it's either going to encourage or discourage. It's one thing to say, I was afraid and I wasn't able to deal with this situation. And it's another thing to say, how could you be so stupid, and all that kind of self-talk. So you want to get away from that kind of energy. You want to start to try to embrace, the lighter side of yourself, so that you can play with some of the things that have blocked you or that got in your way. So if something did go wrong, what does a child do when they lose at a game? Oftentimes they just go back to playing another game. Like there's a certain restart, a certain freedom that comes through with just getting back to basics, just going back to restarting, and not allowing yourself to wound yourself further. But again, with the inner child, it is represented as a creative part of yourself, and that creative, compassionate expression of passion all comes through with this card. These are the things that you want to bring through, and again, being compassionate about what you say to yourself and to others, because that energy mirrors back to you. So again, it's about accepting and loving things about yourself and about others, and also not being reliant on the things you felt protected you before. Because if you felt that having I'm just going to pick a random number again. It's going to be different for everybody. $10,000 in the bank, if that gave you a certain sense of security and now you're left with 1,000 or 400 or whatever, sometimes we start to feel that we no longer have an identification. We identified with the wrong things. We identified with the money. Money is a direction, needs a direction. It's a tool. So you want to identify with the right thing, which is the person who was able to create the 10,000 was you. So if you could do it once, you can do it twice. You can do it 3 times. You can do it again and again and again, however long it takes, because it came from you. It came from your center, your foundation. So these are the things that you want to remind yourself of, so that you can push through, those painful experiences. So be compassionate to yourself. Okay, so the next is, I'm going to read the numerology cards actually. These ones are, again, just there's a lot of repeat coming through here. So we've got financial discipline, and we've also got music. And again, we've got a happy ending, and we've also got a rebirth. So you're coming out of something here. So for sure, again, as I've already commented on many of these, for sure you've got some financial restraints that are coming through, and you do need some financial discipline for this period. Just to lay low with the expenditures for now, take appropriate steps, be practical. What do you need versus what do you want? Stay on the need versus the want. Don't spend on unnecessary things. Try not to get yourself involved with heavy credit card debt, that kind of thing. I realize that a lot of things were going out rather than coming in with the COVID for a lot of people. So don't beat yourself up over it. Just, continue to find a way to budget, continue to find more knowledge on finance, continue to find ways to make extra money. Whether it's on the internet, try to step sometimes out of your comfort zone to be able to create that wealth. But any kind of additional information, new information, always educating yourself about money to be able to, bring it to you. Because again, energy is just energy until you can put it into action. So it requires you to actually do the research, to be disciplined enough to do the reading, so that you can be the king of pentacles and manifest in the physical world that money, that abundance. So taking a positive attitude and disciplining yourself is what comes through with this card, so that you have financial security. So with music, again, pretty self-explanatory. These are the things that you need to listen to be able to help you improve your health or improve your mindset or your quality of life. So whether you're playing it, singing it, composing it, listening to it, whatever it is, it's got to be a vibration here that's coming through with music that helps to connect you to source or raises your vibration so that you can connect to source. But either way, you're feeling good when you listen to music, or again, sing it, or whatever it is for you. De-stress, listening to a CD or on your phone, whatever it is, just because it does help to adjust you to a new frequency. So you're healing. You're healing your body. You're healing your heart. You're manifesting your dreams. You're able to get some momentum sometimes from it as well. It will bring about a happy ending for you. This happy ending is about another confirmation that's coming through that whatever you thought was impossible is waiting for you. And it's a favorable outcome. You're attracting this outcome, just simply by taking action and healing yourself, creating a strong foundation. Again, don't worry about the time frame, because what's going to happen is it'll start off slow and then it'll start to just synchronize and escalate quickly. Because the universe knows that this is your right path. This is the path you were always intended to be on. So you have to act as if you want what's coming. And you're encouraged to intentionally focus on this outcome, not your fears. You want to focus on your dreams and making those things come true, and to be grateful for where you are now and the things that you still do have to work with. Again, this is bringing about a rebirth. And this rebirth is also, just letting you know you're coming to an end of a cycle here. So a lot of cards that speak to you really moving forward here. Sorry, I just need to take a quick second break. just needed to check on something here really quickly. Sorry for delays. I know these are long readings for you. Okay, so I'll get right back into that. We're almost to close here. So just a few more cards. I also have again, I did kind of briefly go through some of this with the Warrior and the Strength card. Again, this is the rune cards that are coming through. And again, it's just basically talking about much of the same here. So this is about new beginnings. It's about, with the Warrior card, that was actually the Strength card. But with the Warrior card here, this is really letting you know that the battle is with yourself. So you really need to let go, get out of your own way, and cut away some of the things that were restricting you. Because again, you're opening up to deeper knowledge here. And that wisdom is going to help you to move forward, create a foundation. You're going to be able to get other people to follow behind you, and may become a resource down the road here. So know that this is a lifelong pursuit. It's a call for awareness. It's an actual quest. It's a self-quest. It's a passage that requires your compassion for yourself and trust in the universe and trust in yourself, and just have the courage and the dedication to resolve the things that are coming forward. And again, you'll find the answers because you're going to get that information. You've got a huge ancestral influence that's coming through here to help you. So you also have strength, and again, that is about new beginnings, old things dying out. You've got growth, you've got change, you've got things fertilizing, there's rebirth. It's all of that. It's getting rid of the decay, the things that were blocking you. This is about you feeling more free, and you're preparing. There is that opportunity that's coming through here. There was, of course, that loss of something, and it might have been an intense emotional bond of some sort, but either way, it's changed your way of life. Something has come to an end, and you've got new perspective, you've got new strength here. This is about you adapting to your circumstances and being creative and finding the solution that supports your new growth. So now we're moving on to I'm going to move on to, this is the tarot. Let's see who this one's by. This one is written by Bridget Reed, and the illustrations are by Colin Howard. So I really like this deck. It's a fun deck. It's really large scale. I brought it through in a few other readings for some of the other signs, but basically this is, I really like as I say, the artistry, and just it's a unique deck just because it's so large. It's just fun sometimes to do something a little different. But anyway, Ten of Wands basically tells you, you were feeling trapped, you were in some kind of a situation where you were deeply unhappy, you were losing faith in your own life, you've got some kind of specific situation that came up that you felt maybe wasted your time, or that you couldn't win, you felt burdened by, but you're walking away from this. So this is a conflict that you just couldn't really deal with, and it could have been something you put a lot of energy behind and it didn't go well. But either way, you've got something else on the forefront here, something else that's coming through, because you've got the Page of Wands. So with the Page of Wands, anything with the pages are still in infancy, whatever the project is to start with. It's not about, it can also represent a person, but I feel in your case, it's representing more of a new situation that's starting here. So again, with the Page of Wands, it's about, an opportunity that's coming up that is a creative project, because the wands indicate, what type of project. And with the wand in his hand here, we are talking about somebody who has, could be somebody who's inspired again. But again, it's about seizing an opportunity, feeling inspired again, even in love. There's just some kind of, intensity that comes through all around with the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is different in every deck. They're not all the same meanings, but that is the brief meaning that comes through with that card. I also have what's called the Jungian Tarot. And this is by Robert Wang, and these are the three cards that were pulled out. So again, we do have a lot of cups dealing with emotion. And then we've also got the star card that's coming through, so maybe we'll start with that one. So the star card is one that's just talking about inspiration and knowledge. And again, you had repeats of that all over this reading. So you know that you're supposed to be staying inspired, seeking knowledge, and it's you being, you know, the shining star. You're actually able to find some happiness and contentment with the star, but it's also illuminating and highlighting a lot of new ideas and things that are coming through for you. So we also have the next card, which is the World, and again you have that one repeated as well. Because in the Rider-Waite deck that comes through. So the World again is just in this particular deck. Again, different meanings for different decks. This one is about practical matters. So again, you had cards that indicated you needed to get practical. It is about materialism, ambition. Could indicate a delay, and I do feel it's not so much a delay as you're just at the beginning stages of something, and you just have to wait until that structure is slowly built, deliberately and conservatively. You know, I just feel that you're still in the beginning stage of where things are headed. So, but again, you also have the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups in this particular card can represent a Cancer that's coming through in the reading, but it's also a free flow of ideas with the Jungian deck. And it's also thoughts, emotions, and focus. And it's just a loosening of any kind of restrictions that are coming through. So if you weren't able to focus or you had terrible focus, you know, this is really the card that's letting you know that you are now able to get things under mental control. I feel that you're getting things under mental control. That you might have been feeling controlled by your circumstances, your feelings, but I feel that you're able to refocus here. So the next cards, we're almost to the end here. These are the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms cards. This is Colette Baron Reed. You've got Keeper of the Scales, Fairness, Balance, and you've also got the Chess Queen, Trust and Strategizing. So with this one here, the Keeper of the Scales, it's really about the law of harmony. So it's really like a justice card, basically, as though it were in the Rider-Waite deck. But this is about, you know, things aligning with balance, to create balance. So it's synchronicities lining up, and it's conditions, it's possibilities, things that are leading to, you know, your highest good or your best intentions. So it's all the things that you need to nurture yourself, and love and respect and acceptance. It's all of those things. You're feeling, you know, positive. There's restoration with this card. You know, in terms of a legal situation, it's definitely a fair situation that's coming through here. But balance is what this card is all about. It's letting go of people and behaviors and things that were in disharmony, and harmony is being restored here with that card. So you also have the Chess Queen. And again, the Chess Queen is about you strategizing, getting things, you know, organized and structured so that you'll win this game, you know, this game of life. You know, you can't lose when you have the divine behind you, which you have strong, strong, strong divine spirit that's guiding you. You're following your intuition. You're following, you know, the tools and the things that you need to aid you to get through and be prosperous here. So this is really about you having a strong sense of a vision of that life, or at least you're coming to it here between August and September, and that process is just going to be unfolding. So it's about you knowing your own goals, your own worth, and you're starting to heal here, and you know the right actions to take. So the rest is just up to divine to line it up for you so that it can manifest. You just need to do the footwork to get things lined up so that they can take the wheel, so to speak. And as I mentioned, now this one is actually the Spellcasting Oracle cards by Flavia Kate Peters and Barbara Meikle-John Free. So again, you've got career, you've got psychic abilities, you've got good luck, and you've got dreams. And you've also got freedom. So we know that your career is the focus. You've got intuitive guidance. You've got good luck going behind you. You are following a dream here. And for sure it's going to lead to freedom. So, you know, that was just in short. But I mean, as far as the actual cards themselves go, you know, career speaks to just that. It's about you becoming, you know, aware of a new challenge that has to be that's coming up here. So it's about you meeting that challenge, and you're moving into this new life, this new work. You're getting rid of some of the dullness or the monotony that might have, been a part of your past to date. But it's about you making something of yourself here. So your soul is craving some kind of expression, and through your goals and achievements, this is a card of, it's an authoritative card actually. Or I shouldn't say authoritative, it's maybe not quite the word. It's a card that you can be an authority. In terms of creativity, it's a hands-on, you being a part of a team. It's about perfect opportunities lining up. You're reinventing yourself here in the workplace is what's happening. And you're taking those deliberate steps. You're following the signs and ideas and things and visions and insights that help you to, move this career into the place that you want to be in. And again, for some, it may not be a passion project. It may actually be that they just want a promotion in something that they're doing. And this is also the card that speaks to that as well. So either way, in terms of the other group of Leos that I mentioned, it's about you being called into service, and you have to follow your heart because you are supported for that. So again, you have the psychic abilities, meaning you also have a great shift in your own personal energy here. This is about you having extreme sensitivity to things now. So, you're able to live your own truth here because you are sending out a stronger vibration. So you can actually trust in that. And I think it's where you weren't able to trust before, you're being asked to trust in the divine, because you do have strong intuition. You've got communication with spirit here, and they're just asking you to trust in that intuition. It is the correct path. This is your path that you are on, and it's going to help you to find the answers that you seek. So not only is it a journey of, something that makes you happy, it's also a journey that's going to satisfy you on a soul level, on a level where you feel like you've got a lot of really strong connections to yourself. The good luck card is about having faced hardship and misfortune. For sure, I felt that you went through all of that in the previous months, but it's also about you walking away from that negative outlook, and you're now able to have those synchronicities line up for you. So you've got meaningful coincidences and things that are now changing your fortune. So luck is on your side here. It's fortuitous opportunity. It's about things being prosperous for you, and it's a lucky streak. So, take advantage of that, because it's, you might want to do small, test the waters with some small things to be able to find out, just how fruitful that abundance can be. So take that leap of faith, that fool's jump here, and see what changes. See what changes for the better here, because that you are expected to have lucrative wins. So I feel that, I feel you're getting help, though, for sure. There's help of some sort that's coming through here. And again, definitely the dream passion project. But you might have some small, lucky financial things that make you feel like you're on the right path, is what I'm going to say. Whether that's financial or other, but I feel like there's something that's going to make you feel like that you're on the right path here from August to September. Okay, so dreams, again, this is about you being pointed in the right direction of your dreams, and it's just time for you to just make that decision to make your wish come true. You have to be the one that takes the controls over to be able to focus on this opportunity, because it is a lifelong dream or ambition, and it's something about it's entwined with meaning. It has a strong meaning to you that you relate to, and that's why it's giving you so much happiness along the way. So again, these are messages that you are being brought to an awakened state here. You need to pay attention to your dreams. It might even help to have a dream journal for some. But again, this is also speaking to a deceased loved one that's coming through in your dreams. So really pay attention. Really, really pay attention, because you have someone that is definitely trying to connect with you. And again, you're being brought the card of freedom, as I mentioned. And so with freedom, that power is there. This is a card letting you know you've got full potential in all levels. You don't need to doubt yourself. You don't need to have worry, feel, confined or restricted or insecurities, because that just dims your spirit. It suffocates your expression. You need to release yourself. Don't imprison yourself with that loaded mind. You need to liberate and move to those new heights. So this is about you stepping into your authenticity, being who you truly were meant to be, and when it's a passion project and it's somebody that you truly want, we're meant to be, and you want to bring something to the world, that makes a huge difference in where you're headed, because you then have the motivation to overcome all obstacles, despite whatever they might be. Your destiny awaits with this card, and you need to release the judgment of yourself and of others. Okay, so the next cards will be, actually, I think we're ready to get right into the financial aspect. Okay, so with the financial cards here, you have, and then we'll get to the very last ones, which will just be about the advice cards. So starting out from August 14th here, about the middle of August, you actually have the Two of Swords. So again, with swords, I mean, this is you being up in your head. This is something related to the mind here with swords energy. This can be a period of stagnation, which I feel is what's happening to you. I don't think that you had, you're quite in that stage of committing to your dream or your goal, your passion here. And this is where you need to make a decision with the Two of Swords. So going from stagnancy and ready to embrace this new option or this new choice or this new inspirational project, whatever it is for you. But, it is about inner conflict. And certainly it does speak to you being a little blocked, repressed feelings, anything along that line also comes up with this. And it's about not facing things and just being imbalanced for sure. And you're seeking that balance, but it's also getting through that inner conflict with others and with yourself and trying to make a decision, moving away from stagnancy. You also have the World card, which comes through with the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, as I said, first off, with the World card, I mean, this is really just letting you know you're ending a cycle here. So you do have some sense of accomplishment. You have definitely accomplished something, because you wouldn't have that card otherwise. So it might be something that is, maybe there was a payout of some sort, or maybe there was something that has made you feel like you have you've done all that you could here, but it's about some kind of sense of new beginning here. So there's also a completion and a new beginning starting here. Possibilities come through with the World card. It does speak to life review as well. It can also speak to travel. It can also speak to, creating a structure here around this level of independence. But again, time frame, I wouldn't worry about when this independence is coming just yet, because it's not really laid out in the cards yet. But you are getting a lot of personal satisfaction as you go through. So maybe this was a job or something that came to an end and you've got a new one, or some other new opportunity that has come through for you or that you've learned of. But either way, you're feeling like there is some kind of positive movement anyway. After a time of, again, feeling like you had loss. It's not that you did take maybe a significant loss, but you did feel that there was loss with the Four of Cups here. So again, the Four of Cups are still fairly balanced here, but there wasn't a feeling of focus with this card either. So I feel that you were unfocused. For some Leos, I feel that it was just stagnation, couldn't focus, didn't feel that you had any meaning, for life or for your work or whatever it is, and you needed to shift something up. There was self-doubt, there was a lot of hesitation, introspection, a lot of stubbornness that comes through with this card here too. But it's also about considering your choices. So you just weren't able to see them at that time because you're overwhelmed with emotion. So the Knight of Pentacles is considered the slowest moving card in the deck, and definitely it's a slow moving money card. but it also comes through with a message as well. So with the Knight of Pentacles, I feel in this particular case, it is coming through with a message. I mean, the Knights can speak to somebody who is hardworking, determined, really likes to have a lot of structure to be able to create their own success. But it also comes at the cost of their own energy, their own output. They're traditional, conservative, and efficient. And I still feel that is relevant for you. But we also have the Page of Swords. So again, the Page of Swords is still something is still in its infancy. But again, it's an idea that's coming through. It's an idea that's coming in. It's got its words, its ideas, its, spirit of learning. It's definitely it could be, as I said, some kind of, it's a logical energy here. So you could be also standing up for yourself here as well, because there is some legalities that come toward the end of the year. But again, either way, it's something new that's coming through, and you might be actually standing up for yourself. But again, with that with that Knight of Pentacles and a slow energy, I feel that it's more of an idea that's coming through here. Again, it's your true calling. You have the Judgment card that speaks to this being your life path. This is your true purpose. You're being supported with this idea. Or with this pathway. It also speaks to you having a guardian angel around you as well with the Judgment card. So it's an inner calling, and it's some kind of transformation that's taking place. So it's an awakening of sorts here. So you are moving into a place of rebirth, renewal. You've got this new spiritual calling that you really need to heed. It is allowing you a sense of freedom. And certainly, again, I do feel that the guardian angel is coming through here. So you're feeling some kind of spiritual enlightenment. And with the Two of Wands energy, I mean, this is also about you starting out on that new path. So you might have had to have some patience here with this Two of Wands, or you may still have to have some patience, but I mean, it can speak to a new job that's coming through. It can speak to you planning a trip. It can be about you also, feeling more balanced or getting some balance in your life, but it's also about achievement and starting to, you're still waiting on results, nothing's happening right yet, is some kind of partial success or some kind of partial movement, ahead towards something, but it's the feeling that you have the courage to move on something or make your mark in the world, and that you actually have some kind of inventive, new idea that has been sparked, and you're able to widen your perspective here. So again, this is definitely a positive card. You're moving forward on away from limiting beliefs here is what I feel. And you're moving into some kind of shared resource situation. So you're getting some kind of help. Again, I mean, whatever shared resource is for you. This could be, I feel it's in terms of money though as well, not just on the front of counseling and so forth. I feel that this is really about you feeling, it could be even speaking to a reconciliation of something where your combined resources are helping you to find that balance. But again, it's still about that giving, that reciprocity, that giving and receiving, and something more than expected is coming through here in terms of finances. So there is still some kind of sharing. Again, it could be that you're receiving news or information about a job that's opening up here, but there's some kind of gain. Some kind of gain to you and your world, which is able to move you up a level. Whether this is you or someone else in the reading with the King of Swords, it can actually speak to a situation, doesn't have to be a person as well, but the King of Swords in general speaks to somebody who really makes decisions, intellectual, could be a lawyer or a judge or somebody who just has a really strong intellect. Leader, strategic, that kind of thing could speak to you, or somebody else, or somebody who's involved in the military or the police, anything along that line. But again, I mean, in terms of, can actually also speak to government or legal issues. But this card is somebody who's quite self-assured and somebody who is able to, resolve and understand and think deeply, to be able to, and a very highly principled person, somebody who's very capable and has fair judgment. So I feel that this is maybe, a little more along the lines of a person. So again, you or someone else. On the far spectrum of that, they could be quite headstrong and opinionated, but it's also a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy that comes through. And we also have a counterpart as well that's coming through here. So again, I still feel this one relates to a person as well with the Queen, both authoritative types. This is also a Libra, Virgo energy, somebody who's quite intuitive, which is sort of their secret weapon actually as well. Could speak to a lawyer as well, a businesswoman, somebody who, again, who is very creative and really perceptive and has the knowledge to move past situations and resolve things and solve problems. So again, this could be two people in a situation here. It could be a partnership, could be a relationship. But again, in terms of advice, it's still about being calm and making decisions without an emotional response. But overall, this is an energy of entrepreneurship as well. So being upfront and straightforward, and again, standing in your own truth with this card. But again, we did have the devil energy that was coming through, and that could also speak to Cancer energy as well as Sagittarius. But I feel it's less about a person here and more about situational, that there was a lot of overindulgences. Again, this could be coming through more toward the end of the month. But again, you're moving away from that. So those overindulgences could be coming in the way of, as I said, excess drinking, excess overthinking, excess eating, somebody who's over controlling, somebody who's extremely obsessive or has strong limiting beliefs, very rigid, any kind of unhealthy bond, which, because it's close to the relationship card or the two people there, it might be in regards to a relationship or a partnership. It could be excessive, jealousy, or a lot of trapped energy, something that compressed you in some way, or took energy from you. But again, it's can even speak to a lot of manipulation. But again, it's a Cancer Capricorn sort of energy that's also coming through. But again, it also could be speaking to just stop giving your power away here. But you are moving away from all those difficulties. So probably by the end of August, you're metamorphosizing here. So with the Eight of Cups, you're actually able to transition and move past these difficulties. You're moving on to something new. You've got a new direction. You don't feel this sense of it can speak to that looking for spiritual fulfillment, but you have so much of it that's coming through. I don't know that you're looking for it. I think it's just that journey of self-discovery as well. But you're exploring different areas now, and you're using those inner urges to find that position of power. You've got this new direction, and you're reevaluating priorities here with this card. So, you're finding your balance here again. So again, probably toward the end of August, you're restoring this balance, and you're starting to feel more like yourself, and you're just tired of the old ways, and you're regenerating here. You're learning to seize the day. So we also have, again, still same time frame, probably toward the end of August, maybe into early September. You've also got, because these energies aren't usually just lasting a day. It's something that kind of pulls through. But with the Ten of Cups, this is also about, a lot of emotional energy. So maybe you're just moving away from all this emotional energy and all of this difficulty, but you're also finding your way through to a place of fulfillment, So because you had the Nine of Cups, which was following this Ten of Cups, but again, that's 8, 9, 10. There's a progression there. So with the Ten of Cups, you are actually finding some kind of deep connection to what you love, deep connection to yourself. You're doing what you love. You might have had a lot of responsibilities, but this is, it's a challenge now at this point. That's a healthy challenge. So, you're finding that shared family, happily ever after sense. You're feeling safe. It is also a time of emotional fulfillment. And again, there is wish fulfillment that comes through with this. It's a successful outcome. So this isn't really you ignoring your own personal pathway. You're actually using it. You're finding peace and stability and security, and you might be leaving a job and taking care of, this new project or moving in that direction, or you're finding some kind of cohesion or closer connection to spirit as well as to your own job interests, or promotion in a job, because again you've got the Nine of Cups, so something is definitely bringing you through fulfillment here. This again is the wish fulfillment card. It's about, in terms of career, it's where you're feeling immensely proud. So it's also about things coming to fruition, and you're on point. You're making things happen. Luck is in your favor here. Definitely opportunity. Something's opening up for you, and you're starting to see that in toward again end of August and into September. You're starting to feel a lot freer here, and that there's emotional satisfaction, and that you're counting your blessings here. You've got some kind of wish fulfillment. So it's, and you're starting to enjoy those pleasures of life. So something is coming through that you feel that you're pleased with what's gone on. I still would be careful about the self-indulgence issues there. You also have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups, again, something is still pretty new in infancy, but toward the end of September, this is where you're headed. This is something that, again, is going to give you a lot of emotional fulfillment. Page of Cups is a good omen, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, but it could even be an unexpected gift, a creative idea, a new business, prospect that's come up, new job. So definitely there's something being synchronized here with this. It is definitely a card of something powerful, lucky, monetary, opportunity, new beginning of some sort, and it's a cooperative new beginning because you are getting help. And it's also a card of deep psychic ability. You're developing your psychic ability, and there's a real strong connection here. And it's also about looking after your inner child here too. Sometimes pages can represent people or young children or just a youthful mindset, but in terms of this particular direction of the cards, I feel that you're feeling like you can become more yourself here, and you're following your bliss. You're doing what you love. And again, toward the very end of September, I feel you've done some soul searching. You've got some balance here. You've got some wisdom. There's been a court proceeding of some sort, a legal matter that's been resolved, or it's moving in your favor, or that there's a fair judgment anyway. So whether that's 100% in your favor or 50-50 kind of thing, either way, there's some kind of favorable outcome with this. So again, with the Magician, you've manifested this. You have been able to make something happen in the material world, however you've done it, whether it's information that you shared, whether it's wisdom that you shared, whether it's something, but you've used your intuition to figure it out. You've taken some kind of action with the Magician. This is about you feeling confident in your abilities as well, and definitely unlimited potential with the Magician that's coming through. But again, I feel because you've got the Hermit energy there, you really had to pull back before you were able to go forward here and see the before you're able to feel some balance. You had to pull back. So that is pretty much everything except for the final cards with just your advice cards here. But just again, as a quick reminder, please take advantage of the intuitive ideas, write it down, that are coming through for you, because, again, with the last combination here, really powerful, you've got wisdom, there's lessons learned, you've finished some kind of cycle. Something has come to an end, you've learned the lesson, and you're now able to move on. You've got divine guidance here. You've done the soul searching, you've gone through, this period of enlightenment, and really might have been a very lonely time for you as well. But again, with the Magician, you're manifesting this fair outcome. You're manifesting your goals here. Your knowledge is there. You're realizing your potential here at the end of September. You're realizing the direction that you're going. And again, it's bringing justice. So final cards. Actually, I just wanted to quickly mention too, just in terms of the Hermit as well, I mean, it also speaks to receiving some money for work well done. So just be mindful of that, that there might be something toward the end of September that's coming through as far as money. I do feel that, because you also had the Justice card there in terms of in terms of money on that front as well. The Justice card also indicates that there might be, even though your finances are improving, just to restrict your pocketbook, because there might be another expense that's still going to come through here, maybe toward the end of September. So if you are getting some money, just be really careful not to go crazy, because it just feels like there's something that might come up that is going to that you're going to have to use it. But in terms of work and career, this is a fresh start here as well with the Magician card. Again, it's opportunity, it's tools, it's about doing really well in some kind of business or business transaction. So you're able to manifest balance again. And that is what it's all about. So, and again, you did have a lot of cards that spoke to, you know, you being in a balanced position, and with the Six of Pentacles and that give and take, that shared responsibility financially, partnership. So I feel like you're okay financially in terms of August 14th through to the end of September, but you just have to be mindful of restricting yourself from going crazy, just because there's a reason for it to be just a reason for it to be tired, maintained at this time. You just want to maintain balance right now. So again, you do have a new enterprise of some sort that's on the way with that Two of Wands here, and the Judgment call that's coming through. And so for sure, you're going to be off on some kind of creative adventure. Yes, say yes to this enterprise here. You're going to be starting something, and you just have to wait it out, as to see what actually, alters your course here. Because you do have support, and there might be still some unexpected obstacles or things that are coming through, but it doesn't matter. This is still a project that is so close to your heart that you're willing to take on those challenges. But you need to create a strong foundation for the month of August to September. And then you'll be able to do the Ace of Gabriel, as well as the Leap of Faith and King of Ariel and the Queen of Michael. So starting with that card. This is the Archangel Power deck. These are the last cards of the reading. So you've got, and I'm down to my last 2 candles here. So this is the Ace of Gabriel. It's a gift of passion, opportunity, and inspiration, and the chance to do something amazing and a sense of wonder. So again, I do feel this is a really good chance for you to act on. Don't hesitate, move forward on this. But again, make sure you're doing the practical efforts to make it happen. But I feel like this is new job that's coming through with this card. This is a promotion. This is about starting your own business. This is about something that is a wonderful gift that's on its way. It's a time of action. It is definitely something that's a new adventure or new opportunity, and you're excited about it because it's got fresh ideas involved. But it's definitely coming through for this period. So something new for sure, that you actually need to take a leap of faith with. So with the leap of faith, again, this is the Fool card really, and you've had this as a repeat even from the start here. So it's just about you being guided. You've got the support. You don't want to let any kind of lack of self-confidence get in the way here, because you'll be able to tweak things, and Spirit's got your back, so you'll be able to find a solution for anything that leaps into the way here. But you're empowered. You're following this new path. You've got excitement, and there's growth, and it's an unlimited path. It's going to be limited only by you and what you feel you can handle. So you're not going to take on more than you can handle. You're just going to take on just enough. So don't feel overwhelmed or fearful of jumping in. but seek to find the balance as well in the emotionally to create a strong foundation for the month of August to September. You also have the King of Ariel here as well. So as I said, kings are definitely authoritative. Person could be you or somebody else coming through, could be situational. It says your plans are working out very well, professional and financial success, and you're using your resources wisely. So I feel that you are doing some kind of, you found the balance here. I do feel that things are going to be working out well now. You've got a keen sense of where you need to go and how to succeed. There is advancement in your career. So again, promotion for some Leos. And in terms of people, it just relates to somebody who's a successful person who's already reached the top professionally and is able to direct other people. Could be a nature lover, somebody who's just basically stable and powerful and accomplished. And they know how to use money wisely and usually have a savings, and this is somebody who's in a leadership position. So last card, Queen of Michael. This is, you know exactly what to do, the benefit of experience, and a time for your career rather than your relationships. So even though you did have a card that came through that related to love, again, that card could relate to just a passionate project versus a passion or relationship. But again, it might have been a relationship for some Leos that was being ignored, and you're finally regaining balance enough to give that time and attention. So Queen of Michael, in terms of a situation, is about you knowing exactly what to do. It's about past experiences that have prepared you, and you just need to, set one foot in front of the other and accomplish it now. So in terms of and intentional, directed energy that's coming through there. So again, in terms of a person, it can be somebody who's got a really brilliant mind, good sense of humor, somebody who is perceptive and courageous, cool, calm, collected, which I did feel that you had that energy also come through as a repeat. So again, it could be you, or that you need to take on those qualities to be able to be a leader or a continued leader in the eyes of others that you will be inspiring. So that is your reading, Leo. Again, sorry they're so lengthy, but I really like to keep it interesting, with all the different decks, and hopefully that layering gives you confirmation, because it is spoken through so many different decks, the same message. So until September, Leo, I hope you enjoyed that reading from August 14th through to the end of September. And sorry, I guess we'll see you in October. And again, just to restrict your finances right now. I don't feel things are completely out of control. I feel you're getting some kind of shared help in dealing with the expenses. But just to make sure not to go too crazy for the month of August through to September. And looking forward to hearing about your new opportunity. Please comment and like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in October.